So Nicole, welcome. Glad to have you here. Go ahead and
Thanks.
walk us through like where are you from, what do you do for work?
I am from half an hour north of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I work as a nurse the past 7 years now. The past 2 years have been all night shift. So it's a challenge, but this has been working for me. So I'm really grateful for that. Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. No, night shift nurse, that's not easy, and just the long shifts in general, and then being overnight is just another thing to add to that. So go ahead and like walk people through when you were looking for a coach or looking for help online, what were your goals?
Um, Honestly, looking online, I found you guys through Instagram, and my goals really were I just feel so uncomfortable in my body in just a way where I have felt that way. Just where I felt like even doing stairs was a challenge, right? Like really out of breath. And my goals really, I just wanted to get back to a weight where I knew that I was comfortable doing things, not necessarily just about a number, but I think the whole liking my body is eventually just going to come with my therapy and stuff like that. So,
For sure. So just like pretty much overall health, getting into better shape, maybe
hmm
losing some weight through along the way, but mostly just
yeah.
overall kind of having that healthier lifestyle for sure. So what do you feel overall you were kind of struggling with prior to joining the program?
Uh, so I did do a program before where it was very fast results. In 3 months, I lost about 60 pounds. And that was cool for a minute. But then when it came back to introducing foods, I just went with this like fuck it mentality and just went kind of buck wild. And I not only gained back the weight, but an extra like 20 or 30 pounds. So I think coming into this, really something that helped me make that decision was the sustainability of it and being able to work out because before I couldn't work out when I was doing that. So,
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, for sure. So if you don't mind, explain to the people a little bit like the past program, like calorie wise, like what were you doing that got you such quick results? Because that's what everyone wants. Everyone comes into weight loss or getting healthier thinking, hey, 2 or 3 months, let's do it. It'll be done and over with. I think a lot of people can kind of relate to that on thinking that's how they want it to be. But since you've experienced that and now had like a different side within this program, like just explain to them kind of a little bit of what you experienced in the past in that program and what the I don't want to say requirements were, but what they kind of set you up to do.
so the program in the past, like I said, I lost like 60 pounds within 3 months. The first 30 days was a burn pill and um, really strict tracking of food. However, it was sending pictures of the meal that I was eating. And once we really got into my fitness pal later, I finally got to see what am I actually eating during the day. And it was 750 calories, which is like really not, it explained a lot about how tired I was, how weak I was feeling, cold.
For
So,
sure.
um, and I was really just hopeful that I could find something that I could use long term and stick with. And I think the being able to talk to somebody about it and somebody that really cares about what they're doing with the clients and stuff, like I even hate the word client, but um, but I can tell that you really like what you do, and I it really helped me make that decision moving forward. So
Awesome. Well, we're happy to have you here, and I agree. It's, a health and a fitness journey. It's more than just track your food. There's the mental side of things, there's the emotional side of things. So I definitely think it's important to find a coach that really cares at the end of the day about you as a person as well as your journey because, you know, anyone can, you can use ChatGPT to say, what are my macros and look at my meals and whatever, but, to actually get that feedback and advice and other people who have gone through it as well, I think is important too. But was there anything prior to you joining, or even like when we first chatted, was there anything that you were kind of skeptical about?
I was still skeptical about the maintenance of it all, and really, what am I going to be able to work out and still lose the weight? Because I've been in this mentality of, okay, it's going to make me hungrier,
Hmm.
but the protein, even in the split that I'm in, like the protein is making a huge difference. And then on top of that, I saw that I was getting nearly enough water during the day. So um, I think other than that, really, I was just ready to dive in and try it. And, if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. And just being very open minded about it all. And, luckily for me, it's working. So,
Yeah, no, for sure.
yeah.
You're putting in the work. So it's I like to tell people all the time, like I can give you the framework, I can give you the structure, but I can't put the food in your mouth. So you have to show up, do the work, put one foot in front of the other, and do what you have to do. And obviously, guidance, support, accountability, that's all definitely helpful. But at the end of the day, like you have to get yourself out of bed and do what you have to do. So you're doing awesome, and the more we just keep with it and keep progressing throughout the journey, the progress will come, and the mindset shifts will happen. The emotions around food start changing. So what at the end of the day do you think ultimately made you decide to kind of sign up and join? Was it just, hey, I need to do something, or was there something specifically?
Uh, I was really feeling bad about myself. And I know that that's like something that everybody works on themselves in their life at some point or another. So it just, when I saw the ad and then like I was bouncing it back and forth in my head, and then we had a one on one. Really, the one on one really nailed it in for me because of like what I said before is you're just very personable, and like I know that you care about what you're doing, you care about who you're working with, and that really had me invested because I felt like I was alone in a program that I've done before, and it is something that you have to decide for yourself to do for
For
your
sure.
like treat yourself well. And um, I think being able to bounce off of somebody with ideas and stuff is very very cool. So
Awesome. So we're about 15 weeks in, down 20 pounds, about a pound and 1.3 pounds, and on average a week. So you're definitely doing amazing with that. But also, like I know we've kind of chatted about some mindset like shifts that have been happening along the way. So if you don't mind, would you share like one or two maybe insights around like the mindset or the emotional eating that you've kind of experienced throughout the program?
um, I've definitely been a person that I don't like having to sit with my thoughts. I play a lot of music to avoid that. And I really challenge myself to sit in that space and listen to myself and to make the decision to go into this. I was like, you know what? I do so much for other people day after day. Like, I want to do something for myself, but I don't want to feel bad about that. I want to feel empowered. Uh, and it's not just about my body, but it's my mind as well. All of that is being worked on within this. And this is my journey. It needs to be important to me as an individual.
For sure.
And um, I know that we had talked about this before, but it's definitely not. I was in this mindset still of it's a sprint to get this weight off, and it's not. It's like a marathon. Sticking with it, and even feeling like if it's not fast enough for me right now. Like I really want to be like losing this weight, but really, being able to look back on it and see like, yeah, I'm doing this. I am losing the weight. It's just getting out of my head and knowing that it's going to be a long process if it's going to last. So,
For sure, for sure. And that's the cool part about your journey too, is like you've seen the other side of this super quick, and it's like
yeah.
you've seen those results, and now it's kind of like rewiring your brain to be like, okay, my brain was super used to like 20 pounds, 20 pounds, 20 pounds, super quick. But now it's kind of like, all right, when you saw the result of that, cool, but then you gained the weight back. So now it's like, how can we make this a longer journey? But it's going to definitely be slower and kind of rewiring that into your thoughts every day of, hey, it's okay. Like we're getting 1% better every day. It doesn't need to be a sprint, like you said. So, what would you kind of say to someone who's maybe on the fence? Maybe they've seen my content, we've gotten maybe on a call before, and they're just kind of like, swaying back and forth on what they should do.
Uh, I think it's really important that before you make that decision to just think about the fact that this is for you. It's not about, who you're dating or who you're married to. This is a change that you're going to make for you, and everything else will fall in line in your life. Like, um, I've been married now for 4 years and almost five, and we kind of do our own thing for food sometimes. Sometimes we'll do things together, but it's just what works for us and our journey. And I think it was really difficult for me to separate that for a while. Is um, knowing that I didn't have this buddy with me. So I think really thinking about that and knowing that this is for you,
For sure.
and we're all here to support you as a community as well, and that's what's also really cool and unique about this program. So
For sure, for sure. And I think you said some powerful things there that people can relate to because I think sometimes people like to put the power on either their partner, whoever supporting them in this journey. It's like, hey, at the end of the day, like you're waking up, you're fueling yourself, you're going to the gym, you're sweating, you're doing it when you're tired, not your partner. So kind of drawing that line and understanding like, yeah, it's cool. You want to make sure that they understand what you're going to go through and maybe just like talk to them about it and like say, hey, these are what my goals are. This is what I'm thinking. I think like one thing that I really respected when we were on our call is you were like, you told me I have a wife. And in most of my conversations, when people say that, they put the responsibility on their partner and say, well, my partner doesn't want me to do this. And I'm like, that's crazy because you're the one putting in the work. You're the one showing up for yourself. So I think it's really empowering that you were like, hey, this is my journey. This is for me. And, sometimes there are tougher conversations that you have to have with them, or, maybe an uncomfortable feeling of not doing things together or having to make different meals or things like that. But I think at the end of the day, like getting yourself healthier, both physically and mentally, can 100% reflect upon your relationship. And I think that's powerful. And I really do encourage a lot of people, like kind of like what you did, is said, hey, this journey's for me. And, I'm going to show up for myself and make this my own path. So, um,
yeah,
awesome, awesome job there. So cool. Do you have anything else you would like to add or, let anyone know?
I think even though I discussed, doing this for yourself, and me and my wife, we kind of do our own meals or whatever, we're still spending that time together. And getting used to using the scale for some things in terms of the food scale. I just have like, I put my coffee on there today and I poured in some creamer, and I was like, oh, before I thought I couldn't have any kind of creamer at all.
Mm,
And it was just like killing me. So, um,
sure.
getting used to using that stuff, it's coming with time. And I think it's really good for people to be able to keep their minds open, learn new things. And, just, yeah, I think all in all, I'm really proud of myself, and that's difficult to say. And I think that each person that comes into this program is just really excited to see them become more empowered as well. So I think if you're trying to make that decision, um, if anybody ever wants to touch base with me, like I'm open. So like
Sure.
I'm hippie. Yeah.
For sure. No, yeah, I love that. And yeah, like she said, if any of you guys have more questions, want to speak to someone who's been in the program, we still got 9 weeks left. So Nicole's done amazing. Like we said, she's overnight nurse, busy, trying to juggle everything. Came from a program where 800 calories a day, not even eating what like her BMR is. Tired, fatigued, now she's eating double that and losing weight, feeling better, and most of all, like working on her mindset, working around like the awareness of food and stuff like that. So yeah, if any of you guys are watching this and want to talk, one on one with Nicole, I can definitely connect you guys and you guys can chat more about, her experience and stuff like that. But yeah, super proud of you, Nicole. You're doing amazing. Can't wait to see what the next 9 weeks look like. And we'll just keep, it's remembering it's a journey, not a sprint. We're here for the long run. You're still young. You got a bunch of years in front of you. So the more we can kind of dial things in now, the more years you add on to the back end of your life. So super proud of you. Keep up the work and keep
Thank
doing
you.
you.
Thank you.
Of course.